Hello?
Yes, this is 911. Okay, what is going on there?
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people.
Okay, do you know what they took?
It looks like cocaine on the shelf.
Okay.
I get called for every homicide in my jurisdiction, but this call was different.
Breaking tonight, 5 people dead, a woman and an infant pulled out alive. Whatever happened inside that Commerce City apartment is beyond words, beyond explanation.
It really is.
My memory is that I got there shortly after 8 o'clock. It was pitch black out, and yet the apartment complex was lit up by law enforcement lights. It was a major crime scene.
I stood in the doorway of that apartment, and to see these people just lying on the ground, but it almost was like somebody just took their soul, and they literally just collapsed. It looked to us as the investigators like they thought they were going to be using cocaine.
Seeing the DEA agent point the true narc at the powder and then showing me what it came up as, and it just said fentanyl.
They thought they were all going to be using powder cocaine. We're not suggesting that was okay, but it's certainly things that we understand that people do. But they all paid the price with their life.
I actually always warned all my friends. I hated drugs. So what gets me so upset is, I told them. And it just makes me sad that it was my sister. Sam was Karina's boyfriend. Jen and Steph, they were our friends. And Cora was Sam's sister. And Berto was Cora's husband. I mean, it wasn't like a party, it wasn't anything crazy, it was just a few friends hanging out.
I didn't know what to think at first. I thought somebody killed them. I thought, well, somebody did kill them, but I didn't relate it to drugs at all. I just didn't know what it was. She went to dinner that night and expected to go home and have a little fun, I guess. It was her first real time going out since she had the baby.
They had just decorated the baby's room, and it was so cute, and she worked so hard, and she had everything so perfect, and she had her little outfits hung up from size. She had everything. She just had everything for that baby. She wasn't a druggie. She was just having a little fun. So she thought, she didn't deserve to die. None of them did.
It was clear from the crime scene that these 5 individuals didn't know they were taking fentanyl. And so I wanted to immediately tell the public, no drug is safe right now. People who are taking drugs and not knowing that fentanyl is laced within them are dying. I was terrified that there was more of it out there. And I was terrified that we were going to have more deaths.
It's so cheap to make this drug, and it's so addictive. And because of the highway systems and just the sheer location where Denver's at, it makes it a very easy hub for these drugs to come into the Denver metro area and then be distributed.
We knew right away that this was going to be a really challenging case. I have to have an identifiable suspect that I can prove sold the drugs that were laced with the fentanyl that killed these 5 people.
We suspected that one of the decedents brought the drugs, but who did that person get the drugs from? We were able to get it down to one of 3 people, but barring a confession, we weren't able to get to the level of proof that we needed to get to our probable cause.
I would hope somebody would have a conscience and come forth and say something. Stephanie loved the outdoors. loves sports. She lived vicariously like through our child. She was everything to us. She dropped him off that night and told him, "I'll be back. Mommy loves you, I'll be back." So I gotta imagine, like, in their mind, like how they feel just about like everything. But essentially, I put it to him is that she was poisoned. My son's like an introvert, so he didn't talk a whole lot. But I can tell, like, it's just wearing on him. That light behind his eyes is gone. My daughter, she says things like, "I'm so angry that mommy's not here. It makes me angry." She says, like.
This was different. It was different than what we have done before in cases where someone has died from fentanyl poisoning. And I think this is one of the first cases that received a lot of prominence, but also helped law enforcement turn the tide on how we're going to respond to these deaths and how we are going to treat them like crimes, which then spurred the motivation to go to our state legislature and say, I need better tools to attack the fentanyl problem.
I think the laws still need to be stricter, but before it was not even a slap on the wrist. I know everybody thinks that they're taking drugs, they should know, but it's not right. They were poisoned. They didn't choose to do that. I mean, I think they were murdered, and somebody should pay for that.